Hi, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. I'm back again in this part two of completing a junk journal. So here we left off on working on some pages. In part one, we started putting some pages together and completing each page with some sort of embellishment. So here I'm looking for pages that for me still need a little bit of something. And I'm wondering, about ideas of what I could put on the page and whether it needs a whole big ensemble, so to speak, or just a little bit something. So for me, I like embellishments usually on most pages. On occasion, I will leave a couple of pages that are completely blank, but usually even a little bit something adds some interest or motivation for writing, or just something to look at on that page. I know I already have a ribbon tab on top as well, so I was looking for something maybe in the same color scheme, but something small that will just add a little bit more to see than the rest of the blank page. So here I have another blank page and I have a pocket there, and on the back of that as well, I think that's like a ledger page on that one. And let's see what I might add on this one. Now that's in the back of a pocket, and that one is a bit of a flip out. That one, let's see, I do like that blue paper that I got from Croatia, so I'm trying to use it. Actually, I'm trying to cover two pages at once, and looks like I do like the look of that. It's like a little bit of a notebook or a little bit of a flip or paper flip on that. If I will put it on the top, and I'm just going to round those corners because I like rounded corners. And let's see how that might look. Well, I'd certainly go with the blue on the other side, although you can't see it from here. But that will at least give me some, so there are two pages there, some color on that blank page, and still leave the blank page in case you want to do some collaging on the page or do a whole big story. So I think I'm just going to either paper clip it or use a safety pin, or well, one of those, yeah. I do have a few of these different, sorry about that shake, paper clips that I try to remember to use. And let's see, I might put a string over that from my little Singer tin. And the string, or that I'm using for like a little tassel on that paper clip, it may be in the same color or it could be completely different, but it looks like on this one I'm looking to put about a stick to the same shade of baby blue. Yeah, I did change that where I have the camera taking video, that is the camera that is attached to the same table that I'm working on. So every little bump or something, you can see that. So I did kind of think up a different setup for future, where it's where the camera is, or the phone, the phone is the camera, is attached to something else other than the table, so that every time I bump into the table or do something, it doesn't show and it doesn't shake the screen. There we go. So now we have this as a little embellishment on both sides of that page. And well, am I pretty well done with this signature? Let's see. Okay. Well, looks like that little page didn't quite catch on to the corner trimmer. Okay. So on the next page, do I need something? Sometimes, I figure, no, I don't really. Or I might put a writing spot on it. Yeah, that would look good, but not too intrusive. So I don't want every page to be completely, collaged or just kind of have all kinds of different colors. So sometimes just something subtle also adds something to the page. I try to use other glues other than the Fabric Tech because that's my most go-to glue, but I try to use some other ones as well, just to save a little bit of the Fabric Tech for bigger things like the cover and so on. And on the next page, we have some beautiful flowers and some of my eco-dyeing, but I believe that's a print of that page that I eco-dyed. And I have been using it here and there. It has some pretty colors on it. And, well, see, I could do that. I could put that right in the center or at the edges. I do cut up these small strips and then use them at the edges, and it drapes over the page. It's super pretty, but looks like I'm liking this blue. Is it a royal blue? I'm not sure. It's not the navy blue. Navy blue is a deeper blue, I believe. This one, oh, it's a medium blue. Anyways, so just a little fabric sample. I like to flip fabric samples, so I think I'm going to sew that in. And, well, it's done. And something there disappeared, scissors or something. I know, I'm editing. It's already edited. I'm sorry. It's edited, and now I'm just narrating. So sometimes a picture might jump, and because I don't want to bore you with all the little details in between, it's a lot of waiting sometimes and so on. Or not waiting, but pauses while I sew or do something else. Now in this one, excuse me, I believe the first signature is done. And now to the second signature. Let's see where that leads us. I might use that little piece there on a bit of writing insert. And I like folding pages like that. That way you can still either write right across the whole thing, or just, do little notes on each section. Okay. So again, I'm trying to use a different glue. The glue stick does pretty good with fabric because the fabric will stick pretty well to anything. But I already have one like that, so it does well. And I've done stamping on that one. Okay. I have something else that I want to add to it, looks like. That's some of my own photography that I kind of collaged or superimposed with images of my own, because when I go out to the woods or somewhere, I take like 200 pictures. So I have lots and lots and lots to work on. If I had the time, I certainly would. but I don't have the time for everything that I would like to do. And I certainly should get up earlier in the morning than I do. I do like to sleep in a little bit. I don't know how many of you are early birds. My husband is an early bird, but I just like to doze off again. And then by the time I get up, it's later in the morning, and I'm like, I have so much work to do. So I'm going to decide on something here. Let's see. So I always use the process of elimination to see what I might use. And they're all pretty similar, but as you can see, it's still a little bit of thought goes into it. And you can write on top of that little square as well. There's some lines on it. Yes, we must corner punch. And I'm obsessed with that. I don't know how many of you are obsessed with the corners. Maybe you prefer actually those who buy journals, the crisp corner. But sometimes I just find it too sharp, so I like to just smooth it out a little bit. And then inking, I don't do as much as I used to, but I still do. I still like the aged look or the vintage look. But not all pages will look, vintagey per se. Some are newer pages. Obviously, the blue is newer, and I didn't ink it, and I'm okay with it. Before, I did a lot more inking, like all the pages had to be inked and all that, but no, sometimes, you could have something different. So I'm going to put a little bit of a string on that one. So even though it's a small embellishment, let's say, that I'm putting on this little writing spot, but it's still work. There are still details that I want to do on it. It's not just a matter of I will just, slap this over here. And I do like that thought process as well. Even which way to put the little picture, it's really probably anyway it's okay. But anyhow, so we have a little bit more interest on that writing spot. And let's see, I'm just making sure that it's folded well. Now on that side it's all blank, so I suppose I could do something there. Maybe I'm just going to do some stamping. How about that? There we go. One of my little stencils that I also brought from Croatia. And just put on it. It looks like a flower or leaves. Not exactly sure, but it goes nicely into a circle, so that if I ink that over a crease, it will end up on 2 pages. And I will have embellishments on 2 pages instead of 1. Again, for me, it doesn't have to be completely dark. Just a hint of the stencil is good. There we go. There we have something there, and we have something on the other side. So that, I believe, is now completed, and I will put that in there somewhere. Let's see, I'm just checking where I put it on the other one. Sometimes, I do one signature, and then I follow that as a template, sort of where I put which page. Although I try to vary the pages so it's not like an exact replica. And of course, all the images are different and so on. But there we go. So that page, actually it's not a writing spot. It looks like it's actually page. That's right. And so maybe we're done with this one. So I look at it. I will look at the signature and both of the signatures like many times before I feel that I'm done. So it looks like the centers need to be done. Looks like maybe I try to work on most other pages, so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I can put it that way as well. I'm changing that one so that the ribbon can go up to the top and stick out a little. I'm checking my tabs because I like tabs, but I also have a lot of side tabs now. Didn't used to have that many side tabs. It was mostly top tabs. Top tab, and but I like side tabs too, so I don't have as much on the top as I used to be really a jumble of tabs. So I found a page maybe where I wanted to do something. Let's see, maybe add a little piece of fabric or ribbon. Okay, let's see, what I might do with that. Well, I'm cutting it up and adding some ribbon. So how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. We have more snow here this morning, and this is the end of March. I know that, it's not over till it's over. We can still get snow at any time, April, May, here in Canada. And yeah, woke up this morning and there's a good blanket of snow out there. And I just wanted to get this narration done so that I can post this video, which I had for a while, that I put together. And then I think even after this, I have another one to complete this journal. So by this, you can see all the work that goes into it and all the thought and the different ideas maybe that you try that work. Some will not work. And okay, let's see how that looks inside. Oh, it's lovely. I think that is the maybe the Amethyst journal. I'm not sure. I believe that's the one that's in the shop now. It is all completed now. Very pretty with the denim on the bottom that makes a pocket, and then the blue fabric on the top with some flowers. Then you can see there a box. It says small labels, tea cards, and so on. Some small things in there. And that's where I keep, I'll do some writing spots of the leftover paper that I have sitting on my desk, which usually after making the journal, there's always something, or the ephemera, all kinds of leftovers. I have a video on that as well, how to use leftovers. And so I want to do something with them to use it up as opposed to just throwing everything out. And I do have bags and bags of garbage, and yet still I end up with these odds and ends that I feel are still usable in some way. And well, as you know, most crafters, they hate to just kind of get rid of things, including garbage. But no, I do throw out bags and bags of garbage as well. Okay, so I'm going to be working on the middle on this one. I did take a pause in the video there to sew some ribbon over the pocket edge. And on the other side, well, looks like I will be putting some ladies. I like that one with the blue, and then there's another one there. So it looks like on this side I'll be using the blue fabric. I like the lines on the fabric, the pattern, and mostly I like especially for like inside the journal or something with some kind of striped fabric. I think there's, I don't know, there's a name for the that fabric. Maybe it came on a like a sheet, what do you call it? Like the mattress cover, the skirt that comes out sometimes is all striped, like red stripes or blue stripes, and I like that. So I grab that whenever I go to the thrift shop. I will grab anything that has nice stripes that I can use either for the inside of the journal or the cover and so on. So I'm just trying to fit some fabrics or materials onto the corner of the picture, and then I will probably sew around it. And I used to sew everything right onto the page, but lately I'm more so into, I will embellish the focal point, and then I will sew around, and then I will glue it to the page, and it will look sewn on, but on the other side it will remain nice and flat for writing or whatever it is. And well, looks like I'm gluing that right on, maybe not even sewing. We'll find out what I'll do with this one. Let's see. I am trying to really use the glue more as opposed to sewing, because sometimes I end up everything is sewn so much so that maybe it's not as pleasing looking anymore afterwards. So that I try to vary things from one journal to the next. I try to do some different things and come up with some different ideas. And I know many artists that you know, always come up with something new and different. I do like to go to the same, you know, tried and true and sort of style that I like. And so it's hard for me to actually get out of that box and try something completely different. But every once in a while, I do get motivated and do something different. And you'll see, you know, in my shop, a different journal. And okay, there I'm looking to which gem to put on. I don't want to take away too much from the picture there, from the image, or overtake the color from the baby pink, powder pink, very, very light pink anyways. So that seemed like a good option. Just put a little bit of ink at the edges. So it gives it more of like a photograph look. There I'm using Fabric Tech on that because I want to make sure that it sticks well. Okay, and sometimes I just plain forget, like I said, I forget to use my other glues, and I try to remember I could have used the white glue, I suppose, on that, but you know, such as that. And then on the fabric, definitely I like to use the Fabric Tech. And I did put that on the list for my husband to get some more of today, because I have to refill. I usually I like to use the small bottles, and I just refill them because the large one is large and heavy at first anyways. Where shall I put that one? I don't know why it matters that much really, but I don't know, somehow it does. Well, I don't want to cover the image, I suppose, and I don't want it to kind of overtake the photo or the image as well. So I need to make sure that I'm just using a smaller corner to cover up. And I like using gems, like, as you know, something a little bit shiny. As I usually say, I have something shiny here. And yes, sequence is another one that I like to use as well. And that's the name that I usually forget, sequence. So I call it a gem. Everything's a gem, which means something shiny. Just FYI. Okay, very pretty. I find it pretty, and there's still some space you can write around around the image still, and on the inside as well. So let's see if that is complete for me. And there, I'm just going to give it a dab of glue at the edges. Okay. And also I try to keep my desk clean, but I need everything close at hand. Or else I'm always looking, where's this? Where's that? I need it now. Okay, so it looks like that is completed, and that's in the first signature. It's lovely right there. And probably have one more to do. Let's see, deciding on a couple more images. What I want to use, I think I'm using something in the scheme of bluish, possibly. More so than sepia, but yeah, I do like sepia as well. Very vintagey. There, looks like I'm going to have one of each. And cover the edges. And covering the edges, I mean, it doesn't do a lot, but it does cover that whiteness. That kind of reminds me that, well, this has just been cut. Like, I want it to look like on a page like it's been there a while, and, you know, it's not brand new. It's gone a little bit yellow. So freshly cut paper, I mean, it's okay, but for the most part, as far as images go, I like them to look like sort of like they've been there for a while, like I said. Okay, so I think yeah, I need more ribbon. And more of that blue striped fabric. So that's ready. Those are ready to be put together. And now I need some ribbon or fabric. Oh, it looks like I have enough to go right across there. Okay, so maybe I'll use that. Just for something different. I mean, not every page has to be identical to the, the first page. I didn't want to rip it because I might lose, because I try to be careful with this one. I don't want some left over for future project. And I just wanted to kind of fit. Although I could have used the smaller piece too. I don't know why I'm going on with the bigger piece, but anyways. That looks like what I've decided. I know, you can look back sometimes and think, ugh, I could have done that differently, or why didn't I do this? Or, once everything is done, you go, oh, I could have done something different. But, there's always another chance, another journal, and you can do something different in that one. And all the ideas that you had from before, or some pages that in the end I might reject. I don't get rid of them. I put them in a box and I use them somewhere else later on where it seems to fit a lot better. So not every page passes my quality test afterwards. Not so much quality, but you know, depending on colors and images or whatever is on it. Maybe I just feel, well, just for some reason, not for this journal, but it seems to fit right in for the next one or something else. Okay, so I made a pocket there that is just a little bit taller so that things don't fall out. I don't like it when things kind of don't fit in nicely and they're falling or sagging or something. So I try anyways, you know, it might still happen, but I try to avoid that. Okay, so I'm going to figure out the ladies in the same way pretty well as I did the other one. I think it just looked pretty, and I thought, well, why not just do the same thing? And like I said, sometimes I do, and sometimes I vary it and do something different, but so pretty. Okay. Yeah, always getting glue on the fingers. Well, I don't mind really. I don't mind glue on my fingers, but I don't like to be sticky. So luckily, Fabric-Tech, you know, you rub it off your fingers and you're good to go again. And let's see, so I think we're almost done here embellishing the pages. And then we're gonna move on to getting it inside the journal cover. So I appreciate you coming by and watching this video with me, the process that I take to put a journal together. It seems maybe like it's quick, and then again, it's not. A lot of work and a lot of details are thought of and prepared and worked on and so on. But it's something that we love to do, so we're okay with that. Okay, probably put in a little gem there as well, maybe something different, or am I sticking to the clear ones? Let's see. Yeah, I have a bigger box or bin than this. It's just that I don't like, I can't even have all the bins right next to me. There's no space on this little table. So I have these little things that I get, you know, from somewhere, and put something of every color in there, and then I can just choose. And once I need to refill that, then I refill it, but it lasts a while anyways. So, and it does happen on occasion that, yeah, it gets dropped and then it's all over the floor and I have to pick it up, but not too often. Usually it's pretty safe up here next to my sewing machine. Okay, looks like we're continuing with clear gems. Almost done on this middle page. That's the middle page that will go in the center of the second signature. Yeah, looks good. And I will look at that again and then put it inside. Yeah, get that glue off. Just making sure that it's stuck on well, that it doesn't come right off. Alrighty. So, stay tuned for part 3. I will be working on another video of that, how to put a journal together. working on the pages and everything. So, see, I made that February 15th, but it is the end of March. That's how long it took me to get the narrative on here. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.